Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. One of our board members will be joining us virtually, so we're ready? Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you to everyone who's here in person and uh, participating online with us this evening. Mrs. Ship, may we please have attendance so we can call the meeting to order?
Board Member Erica De La Rosa. Board Member Erica Ovalle. Board Member Erica Ovalle.
I should have given her a second. My apologies. Well, okay, I'll start with my original message. She is attending virtually this evening. And I just wanted to give 5 minutes before we get started. So we'll do that now. Thank you very much for being here. Hello again. May we please have attendance, Mrs. Ship, so we can call the meeting to order?
Board Member Sue Ann Edmiston.
Present.
Board Member Erica Ovalle.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yay. Hi there, Board Member Ovia. We can hear you. Yes. We're just taking attendance.
President Carmen Trujillo.
Present.
With quorum available, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:22 PM. If you choose to do so, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Our agenda this evening, I'd like to request an amendment. Dr. Gonzalez, do you have a recommendation for the agenda this evening?
Given our need to expedite the meeting to be sure to we get our business accomplished, it would be great if we can make an amendment. So
Perfect. Thank you kindly. I move that we adopt the agenda without items F5 and F6. Do we have a second?
second.
Thank you very much, Board Member Edmiston. May we please have a roll call vote?
Board Member Edmiston.
Yes.
Board Member Ovalle.
Yes.
President Trujillo.
Aye. With that, the motion passes and we will move on to our current event summary. Dr. Gonzalez, the floor is yours.
Madam President, members of the board, cabinet members, and our audience and viewing community, it is fitting that in this month of November, I am speaking filled with gratitude as I thank our community for their support of our district overrides. This is going to allow us to maintain smaller class sizes for our students, to continue providing a free preschool program for our students at Faith North, and to boost our focus on safety and security across the district. We also want to thank the many people who've joined us for our roundtables the first quarter, who shared their ideas and their concerns. Our most recent roundtable was with our district city council representatives, Representative Hodge Washington and Representative Hernandez, and State Senator Bravo, and a member of Congresswoman Ansari's staff. It was a great conversation about school finance, the future vision of our district, and the partnerships that we have with the City of Phoenix and other community members. Additionally, I recently served as a panelist on Mayor Gallego's strategic vision for the future of Phoenix. Speaking specifically about the future of education in downtown, it was great to be able to emphasize the importance of the partnerships that we've established, our vision, and to discuss things like affordability and safety. I also had an opportunity to make a magic wish, and of course, I wish that we could fully fund Birth to 5 preschool for all children for full day and to provide more beyond school day programming with our clubs and sports. These were two items that we heard frequently in our roundtable discussions. So having the opportunity to hear from our community and then take that to a visioning community committee at the City of Phoenix was really great. We have many people that we know have been worried about food insecurity with the threat to SNAP benefits. And again, our community has come together to respond by supporting food drives throughout. With our partnership with the Y Academy at Monterey Park, we've been able to provide food boxes to staff and to families in Phoenix #1. With Emerson Court, ESPA, and PECTA working together, we are providing food drives across the district to make sure that we are providing food for any family who needs it there. And then again, thanks to a grant that we received through our summer nutrition programming, we were able last weekend to provide weekend meals to 81 people at Dunbar Elementary. We're going to do that again this Saturday, and we want to thank everybody who is helping to make that possible, including vendors who made generous donations so that adults would be able to eat as well. And a very special thank you to our veterans. The service and the sacrifice our veterans and their families made is a precious foundation to our country's promise of democracy, and we appreciate your service. And now I am very pleased to be able to turn it over to our two superintendent student advisory team members. They are from Herrera, Trinity Stansbury, and from Kenilworth, Genesis Leon. And they are both in 8th grade, and it is a pleasure to be able to have them share their comments with you this evening.
Hello, my name is Trinity Stansbury. I currently attend Herrera Elementary and I am in the 8th grade. I hope to attend Metro Tech High School.
Hello, my name is Genesis Leon. I currently attend Kenilworth Elementary and I am in 8th grade. I hope to attend Central High School.
We are members of the Superintendent Student Advisory Team. Our work as a team provides us with leadership opportunities to improve our schools in the school district. That student advisory team had a retreat on October 16th. My favorite part of the day was when we got all the groups to agree within each other.
My favorite part of the day were the agreements and disagreements between other students throughout the district. On that day, Dr. Deborah Gonzalez taught us about the opportunity makers. We learned about coherence, consistency, and belonging. We had a lot of discussion about what our focus for the year should be. Some of the ideas shared on that day were that each subject was connected, so there was no right or wrong answer.
Some of the other ideas that we shared include that all schools should have a safe place to go to. We came to a consensus. This means we all listened and agreed on one topic. We agreed that our action research project will focus on belonging in our schools.
We have virtual meetings every month and another retreat planned to work together on our action research project. We are excited to share our process and results with the governing board and the community.
You two are so amazing. And this is just a small representation of our Superintendent Student Advisory Council, or our team. They are amazing representatives and they did an amazing job with consensus building. I think they can teach us all a thing or two about how to work in government together. As we conclude our remarks, we do want to wish everyone a very restful Thanksgiving holiday. May you be surrounded by people that you love, and thank you for your partnership with Phoenix #1 to make sure that our children get the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Genesis and Trinity, for being here, representing Kenilworth and Herrera. Thanks to your family too as well for joining us this evening. Do we have any other board member? I'm sorry, we've got to move on to board member reports, which is our next item, B2. Do we have any board member reports this evening? Hearing none, I'll.
Me, sorry about that. I raised my hand.
My apologies. Thank
No,
you.
it's all good. This is Erica. I just wanted to apologize first and foremost for not being in person. Has some personal things that I got to take care of, but I'm here and I'm present. I just want to thank the schools that I was able to attend this past month with the trunk or treats, being able to walk the schools and meet people. People knew me by name. I thought that was very cool. And people just, teachers and families coming to talk to me. I really appreciate that. And I love that. Keep doing that. And to the young people that are here today, keep up the good work. I'm excited to see what you guys work on. If you ever need any help or anything, you can reach out to me. But I love that you guys are here and that you're involved. And so a big thank you to you too and your families.
Thank you, Board Member Ovaya. I'd like to echo both Dr. Gonzalez and Board Member Ovaya's sentiments. Super proud that you're here. representing a very important student voice. So I will quickly thank everyone who made time to cast their votes in support of our 3 ballot measures that we had. I'm grateful to the staff who came out and supported our canvassing efforts and more. Lastly, I'll quickly thank our Emerson student performers that were here earlier, and Miss Mathers for today's performance. And with that, we'll move on to item C1, our community communications. We'll start with in-person comments this evening and limit them to 3 minutes. May I please welcome Maria Rodriguez to the podium, and after that, Allison Gulick, please.
Hello, good evening, Governing Board, Superintendent, Cabinet, and Community. My name is Maria Rodriguez. I am here today speaking as ESPA President. I want to begin by congratulating Xochitl Valencia on her appointment as our new ESPA Secretary. We are thrilled to have her on board. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Gonzalez for meeting with ESPA and PECTA for the roundtable discussion on October 29th. I'm glad we have that transparency and being able to sit down and give feedback. Additional thank you to April Pettit, PECTA President, for presenting the quarterly climate survey and effectively voicing the feedback we received. Your leadership is truly commendable, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. Most importantly, I want to express my appreciation to the support staff who attended the meeting, whether to speak or just listen. Your presence and representation means a great deal to all of us. I encourage all support staff to check your personal emails regularly for information about future events, collaborations, surveys, and more. We hope everyone will participate and lend their voices as we come together. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Mrs. Gulick.
Good evening, Board and Cabinet. My name is Allison Gulick. I'm a parent here in the district. This past weekend at a community event, several families from Faith North told me that in the 4K pre-K, one of the 4K pre-K teachers has resigned, and the classrooms have been redistributed to other classes, and the classes are becoming overcrowded, and the district is struggling to find another teacher. Children with disabilities are being placed together in large classrooms, and parents are seeing their kids academically slip. But because the half-day program is free, some feel like that they can't speak up. Meanwhile, at other schools, we have the opposite situation. My son is in 4K at Kenilworth and still has 3 children in his class. Emerson has 5, I believe. Families have expressed that they would gladly move to a school closer to home if cost weren't a barrier given the choice. Right now, Kenilworth and Emerson have 24-ish vacant seats. 13 at Kenilworth and 11, I believe, at Emerson, while Faith North teachers are managing large classrooms. These seats, empty seats at these 2 schools represent capacity the district is already paying for. Filling them would allow the district to avoid the need to rehire an additional teacher and possibly assistant to backfill at Faith North, saving the district money in these times and reducing strain on our teachers at Faith North and provide more opportunities at our other schools. We have approximately 60-ish K4 students grandfathered in for free tuition at Shaw Montessori School, so we know that that flexibility is possible. Redistributing enrollment even at semester break would help children receive the small group, high-quality instruction that prepares them for kindergarten. It would relieve teacher burnout, and it would strengthen long-term enrollment because families who start at these programs at established schools are more likely to stay for kindergarten. To be clear, this isn't about me or what my family has experienced regarding tuition with the district. This is about the greater good of our community and our youngest learners. We all want pre-K to succeed, but it's okay to acknowledge that this year's tuition-based strategy didn't work as anticipated. What matters is regrouping now, not wasting the resources we already have in place and planning intentionally for next year. Preschool is one of the most evidence-based investments we can make in a child's future. We have the space, we have the teachers, we have families who would eagerly join a well-supported program closer to their homes. And aligning enrollment with our existing capacity would improve equity, support educators, save money, and strengthen our district. I urge the board and the cabinet to examine these disparities and implement a plan that uses our capacity more effectively and more equitably for all our youngest learners. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, Mrs. Shipp. Whenever you're ready for online comments.
Our first comment is from Paul Booth. I'm writing to request the district consider becoming a leader, champion, and destination for families to live who have children with disabilities by providing free full-day preschool for in-district 4-year-olds with disabilities in the Phoenix Elementary School District. Our district has an incredible opportunity to invest early, not only in our children, but in our financial future. We already receive partial funding for preschool programs serving students with disabilities through federal IDEA Part B and state early childhood grants. That means the foundation for funding is already in place. By expanding to full-day programs, we're not starting from scratch. We're building on resources that already exist and maximizing the impact of dollars we're already spending. Every educator and parent here knows that early intervention works. When children with disabilities get more time in structured, high-quality classrooms, they build the communication, social, and academic skills they'll rely on for years to come. Research consistently shows that students who receive full-day early education require fewer costly services later in elementary and middle school, less time in resource rooms, fewer referrals for outside therapies, and reduced retention rates. In short, when we invest in early education, we save money long-term and give children the foundation they need to thrive. I've seen this firsthand with my own son at Kenilworth. Last year, he attended a half-day preschool program. He made progress, but the limited hours meant transitions happened just as he was getting engaged. This year, he's in a full-day program with his incredible teachers, Mrs. Vargas and Mrs. Galindo, and the difference is night and day. He's talking more, engaging safely with his peers, learning routines, and coming home proud of what he's accomplished. That extra time gives his teachers the chance to truly meet his needs instead of rushing through the day. It's given him confidence, independence, and joy in learning, and it's preparing him to enter kindergarten ready to succeed. When we provide full-day preschool for children with disabilities, we're not just giving them more time in class, we're giving them a stronger future, and by supporting them early, we reduce the need for intensive, expensive services later on. I urge you to see this for what it is, a smart, compassionate investment. Our children deserve a fair start, and our community deserves the long-term savings and success that come with it. Thank you for your time, and thank you for supporting the incredible teachers and programs that are already changing lives, just like Mrs. Vargas and Mrs. Galindo have changed our sons. Our next comment is from April Pettit. Good evening, President Trujillo, members of the Governing Board, and Superintendent. My name is April Pettit, and I'm the proud president of PECTA. The first thing I want to do this evening is say thank you. Thank you to everyone who helped knock on doors and share our message in support of the override. Because of your efforts, 3 out of every 4 voters chose to support our ballot measures, one of the widest margins in the state. That is something we should all be proud of. A special thank you to President Trujillo for not only knocking on doors, but also ensuring that we had the supplies and literature we needed to make our outreach successful. I also want to recognize the following individuals who give up their Saturdays to help make this happen. Mr. Whittle and his wife, Adrian Spees, Emily O'Neill, Maria Rodriguez and her daughter Isabella, our fabulous treasurer Nicole Goodwin and her amazing husband. And finally, I'd like to publicly thank my husband and daughters who give up multiple Saturdays to knock on doors for PESD. In addition, I'd like to share a brief update about working conditions in our district. PECTA will begin meet and confer within the district next week. Recently, we sent out a quarterly climate survey to staff and have used the data gathered from that survey to help align our proposals for the meet and confer process. We look forward to engaging in thoughtful and collaborative discussions that continue to make PESD a great place to work and learn. I also want to express appreciation to the district for designating the Monday after an extended break as a workday. I have received many messages from staff saying how much this adjustment helps. It alleviates a lot of stress and allows educators to better prepare and transition back after a break. A small change that makes a big difference. Thank you again for your continued partnership, your support of our staff, and your commitment to the success of our students and community. Sincerely, April Pettit, President of PECTA. This concludes our online community comments.
Thank you very much to everyone who made time to give public comment. With that, we'll move on to section D, our consent agenda. I'd like to move that we approve our consent agenda as presented. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kylie. May we please have a vote?
Board Member Ovalle,
Yes.
Board Member Edmiston,
Yes.
President Trujillo.
Aye. With that, our motion passes, and we will move on to item E1, executive session. The governing board is Well, let's first make a move. I move that we adjourn to executive session. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you kindly. May we please have a vote?
Board Member Ovalle,
Aye.
Board Member Edmiston,
Yes.
President Trujillo.
Thank you. Yes. With that, our motion passes and the governing board will recess into executive session pursuant to ARS Section 38-431.03, A3 and 7 for the purpose of consultation with the attorney and real estate consultants of the public body to consider its position and instruct its representatives regarding negotiations for the potential sale of the district's property on Lincoln and First Street. We shouldn't be too long, but we will see you as soon as we adjourn as soon as we're ready to resume to regular session. Thank you. She's on. Perfect. Thank you all very much. The time is 6:18 PM and we will resume to regular session. Mrs. Shipp, would you like me to move to resume to regular session? Okay. I move that we resume to regular session at 6:18 PM. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
No nays. With that, our motion passes and we will move on to item F1, our first action item, regarding direction to the superintendent and consultants and attorney for the public body regarding the item discussed in executive session. With that, I move that we instruct Dr. Gonzalez, our attorneys and real estate consultants, to move forward as discussed in executive session. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you kindly. May we please have a roll call vote?
Board Member Ovalle,
Nay.
Board Member Edmiston,
Yes.
President Trujillo.
Yes. With that, our motion passes and we will move on to item F2, which is an item that we have on the agenda that has all of our governance documentation to review. So I'll keep it brief and say that we are reviewing progress monitoring for our board goal number 3 and for the guardrail monitoring for guardrail number 3. Superintendent guardrail number 3. So with that, we'll move on to item F3 and hear about our board goal number 3. Who will be presenting tonight, Dr. Gonzalez?
Madam President, this evening we have Mrs. Mary Lou Gonzalez and Dr. Brent Lloyd, who are going to be presenting along with Dr. Ailshire and myself. And so as we look at the presentation for goal number 3, this is our goal that is set to improve the proficiency levels, at least one category as measured by the AZELA. That's the state assessment for ELL, English language learners, that it will increase from 32% on August 2023 to 50% by August of 2028. And so just to orient us, in the past years, this is one of the goal areas we've been able to very consistently continue to show progress. So our goal 3 is, like we said, trying to increase that percentage. And part of the way that we're doing this is by really looking at how we are changing the way that we provide instruction on a daily basis to our students through the use of our instructional strategies that are designed to support language development, and then making sure that that instruction is occurring not only when students are pulled out of the classroom for special services, but that it becomes a regular part of the instruction that they receive on a day-to-day basis. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Ailshire, who will take us on to the next part of this report.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. So moving on to, I'm going to go ahead, actually, I want Dr. Lloyd to go ahead and provide us a little bit of context into what the data is telling us for what we can anticipate in terms of board goals this year. And then we have our wonderful Ms. Mary Lou Gonzalez who will give us the context in terms of the inputs, the real strategies that are going to be benefiting these goals and why we're seeing the results that we are. So, Dr. Lloyd.
Thank you, Dr. Ailshire, President Trujillo, members of the board, cabinet, and community. Thank you for having me again. So today we're presenting on this interim goal around our English language learners and the progress that we're trying to make. So in order to be able to meet our goal to improve proficiency levels on AZELA, 2 of the main areas that we know our students need to develop in are in their reading and their writing. So this goal, interim goal 3.1, is specific to improving reading proficiency levels on our district benchmarks. And if you remember from prior presentations, for K3 this year, we're using a assessment tool called AimsWeb Plus. And for grades 4 through 8, we are using the iReady reading diagnostic. So we took that assessment in August, and you can see that from the prior winter when they took it, which was in January, from January to this August, we continue to track how students do on that and whether or not they are improving proficiency levels. And so we had our highest point so far from winter 24-25 to fall 25-26. We had 35% of students improve a reading proficiency level. Now, one thing I want to point out, if you remember from, was it our last presentation, is that the norms changed, meaning that the way that we interpreted how well students were reading changed. And so that's giving us a little bit of a bump here to that 35%. It won't decrease, right? Like that's it, but we just won't see as high of a change from fall to winter as we probably saw from winter to fall. But we should be able to still meet that target. We're based on where we're currently at. And then, did you want to say anything else, Dr. Yoshida, about this slide? So if we can go to the next slide, we can see the school breakdown, and we see most schools are on track to meeting the target for winter 25-26. Many are already above that target. We do have a couple that are still below and working towards it, but we believe next month we're taking these that we will be able to hit these targets. And I'll introduce Mrs. Gonzalez to share more about what we're doing to support the reading.
Good evening, President Trujillo, board members, cabinet and community. So this past spring, we dedicated a lot of time to start planning ahead of how we wanted to make impact on just the reading, recognizing that our students needed support in reading foundations, not just in the lower grades, but also in our upper grades. Also understanding that we really wanted to bring the academic language as a forefront, not just to our EL students, but all our students. So some of the trainings that we provided in the springtime were the rewards program that is really focused on building those foundational pieces of our students, especially as we saw gaps with our students in the upper grades. Another piece is bringing Dr. Kate Kinsella over, not just to work with our teachers, but our administrators. It's such an important part that our administrators also understand the practices so they know what to inspect for a good practice. So a lot of that has rolled into this year. As we started this year in July, Dr. Kinsella also met with us and met with administrators and our teachers, specifically our 4A teachers, and they really embraced the practices. And that has been a focus that is extending throughout this school year, and not just we really want to continue our whole focus of all our students are academic English language learners. They're all learning language that may be new to them. So how do we ensure that it's not just exposure, that it's that we're cementing it, and how are we ensuring that it's being retained? So a lot of our practices and the programs that we've adopted align to that expectation. So in reading, our EL interventionists have kind of done the front loading of the English 3D program that has set those structured academic dialogues. Now we're rolling it out with our instructional coaches as we collaborate with our CNI team on ensuring that all our teachers get that great practice.
All right, and we'll go to the next slide, which brings us to our interim goal 3.2. So this goal is around writing, and we do writing interims that we have developed in our district. Some of them have been with just using different tools that we have available to us. And so you can see the line graph there, and there's a steady increase to all the way through October to January of last year. And then you see a decrease. It's really a drop that we anticipate because from January to August, we don't have as much instruction, and we also have the summer break. And so really that 6%, that's our starting point. That's our baseline from where we're measuring to. And we believe, based on how we did last year and the practices and the supports we have in place, that we will meet that 25% target, because we're continuing to use similar practices and the things that we did last year that helped us hit that 25%. And Randy, if you can go to the next slide. Thank you. Again, you can see here we have many schools that are below 10% of their students at this point, showing an improvement from last year with their writing. But this was our first assessment given in August after a break, and not with a lot of additional instruction between the last benchmark and this one. And so we do expect to see more of our improvement coming in this time period between August and December. We actually just finished one, in late October. Unfortunately, with timelines, we were not able to present those data today, but we will have that for you in our next presentation on this, and we are still expecting good things and to be able to hit this target as well. And I'll bring back my counterpart to share more about what we're doing to support writing for our English language learners.
So like Dr. Lloyd said, it was, our students took this interim, Q1 interim during the first few weeks of school. A couple of the schools there that are in the lower end are schools that were consolidated, that had not only their current students, but new students that are coming in. So this baseline data was very important. Knowing that growth, when we use the Zella measures, students may be moving a point up, but that doesn't reflect on the growth because it still keeps them at a pre-emergent level. So what we're really pushing is where are the pre-emergent skills that need to be moved up to basic and so forth to get that growth going. But it is very important data for our schools to know because that's where they start the work. And so we are sure that we are going to see some of that work in the Q2 results that just finished up. And then we have another quarterly on come January, right? So another piece is that we also are keeping in mind is that we do have a high number of dual labeled students in particular schools. This is something that actually this morning when I was in the ELA committee, which is the state, the Department of Education's advisory committee, that across the state districts are struggling of how do we provide guidance to our teachers when we do have students that have not just an EL need, but also have an ESS need. So those are things that as a district, we've tried to work with our ESS teachers to ensure that they're aware of the expectations of the assessment and what is their part and how they can support. But that's an area that we can all grow in. The other piece is just, we just finished up our training in English 3D that was really focused on writing and how to really scaffold those pieces for our students that are developing their language. So some of those pieces we're rolling out, coming out these next 6 weeks that we are leading up to our Azella testing window that will open on January 26th.
One other quick point to going back, Randy, or to the previous slide. One of the reasons for that drop as well is when they move into the next grade, it is a different task. And sometimes because of their grade band, the task will change significantly, right? From the prior year, because every year with the Zella, the test isn't exactly the same, right? It's not just like worded slightly different for a different grade level, the task will change. And so again, it's a baseline that we've gotten, that 6%. And so we do expect with having given another interim in October, and then we'll give one more in January. And that's when we'll see, hopefully, that we've reached our goal for this year.
So we're going to continue doing our work that we know is important for our students. One of the biggest pieces that we've seen is the motivation of ensuring that our students are motivated when if they have set goals. So a lot of conversations with our EL interventionists with their students of like, here's how you performed last spring. Let's make some goals that you're going to make sure that you work towards. So those are pieces that are important. They're also, it's a piece that as we go with our upper grades, we know our students, sometimes that motivation isn't there. So it's a very important, very tied into how do we build those relationships with our students.
Thank you, Mrs. Gonzalez, Dr. Lloyd, and they spoke to many of these inputs in terms of what is working and where we're focused on. I want to bring back two different points that were kind of touched on here. One is just the sheer amount of work the language acquisition department is doing because these assessments, unlike our other ones, which are all happening in the spring, they are literally right around the corner for us. So they really start the year off preparing. It's like saying that you would, start off in December for the school year in December, and you're going to get assessed in April. That's what happens for our EL learners, that they are really being assessed very early in the year. So I want to commend both our language acquisition department and our EL interventionists. We're incredibly fortunate to have their leadership under Ms. Gonzalez, who is leading that effort to make sure that they are hitting all the things that they need to in preparing our students extraordinarily early in the year. The other thing I want to emphasize that both my colleagues spoke about was just this emphasis and focus on collaboration. This is a full court press. We really developed a motto amongst our teams that we don't believe in silos in our departments. And while we represent many different departments, you heard specifically of the training, the cross-training that's happening with coaches in CNI that are related to the same types of trainings that our EL interventionists are getting, because all of our students really benefit from these strategies, but it really behooves all of us as an institution to make sure that our professionals that we're putting out in front of our kids or that we're using to support our teachers all have the same baseline of knowledge and training. And so I want to thank those two departments for their collaboration and being able to put that together in their visioning. It's been an incredible piece of leadership for them. So, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Madam President, Ms. Ovalle had to log off, so we don't have quorum right now. We can't vote, but if we want to, if you want to ask questions, we just can't. We can't vote. It was a medical issue, so.
Well, with that, I will end the meeting. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
That we stop discussion?
But point of inquiry, will we come back to this one or, yeah?
Yes. We'll have to re-agendize everything. Okay. So we will end the meeting at 6:36 p.m. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the information. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Good night. Oh, our next meeting, will we try and maybe do another meeting or just move everything to December 11th?
It might behoove us to do a meeting in between if it's at all possible to reschedule, because our December agenda is really long.
Yeah.
And
That's,
we
okay.
still have quite a bit on this agenda to cover.
Yeah. Okay. Then I won't say our next board meeting is December 11th.
Do we want to look? Yeah, we can
We'll-
look for a
we'll
date.
See if we can get another smaller meeting in the interim to take care of these items. Thank you all for being here. Sorry for the change.